Very professional. Hello! Hi, everyone.
I figured we'd move past professionalism at this point with the greetings of these things.
You're probably not wrong. There we go. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, and hi.
Good
and
to see you
welcome,
all
and
in
I'm
such a long time.
pausing that so that we can chit-chat. So we don't anticipate that there's going to be a ton of you jumping on board since we didn't decide to do this until this morning. So we're hoping that a lot of you are watching this after it's been uploaded,
Indeed.
which is great. Because this is not going to be a live stream in the traditional sense that we've done them in the past, where we do a lot of fun communication with you guys. It's going to be a lot of us.
that watching counter is just. We will answer your questions at the end, but we have some important things to say.
If you have questions, then yes, we will do that. But primarily, we're just going to be giving an update.
We have a list.
We have a list of things that need to be discussed and updated. These are all things that people have been asking us a lot about in the past few months or so. It's also just been a while since we've talked to you guys, so we feel that it's time to give an update.
Indeed.
And because we don't do traditional pre-recorded video updates, we just wanted to hop on and do it this way, because it's what you guys are more accustomed to from us.
Plus, we like it.
Plus, we enjoy this. We really do. And it's been a long time. Again, we don't anticipate a huge audience on this one, and if some miracle happens and a lot of people jump on, great. But we're not expecting that.
Indeed.
So, there are 4 primary topics that we're going to talk about. Some other things might pop up as we get going, and some other things might trail off.
Indeed. For those just joining us, because a whole bunch of people just jumped on, we're going through our little list of things first, and then we will get to questions and comments. So we're not ignoring you guys. This is meant to be an informative live stream.
Yes. Also, I completely lost my train of thought for a second there.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to put timestamps in the description after this is uploaded so that when you guys go back and watch it, you can just jump right to specific questions that you might want to have answered. Thank you. Now live on YouTube is us.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad YouTube is sending that out
Good
to
to
people.
know.
That's why they're jumping on now. Hi. So that's what this is going to be tonight. It's not going to be an hour long. It's going to be about a half an hour. Again, it's not going to be what we've done in the past. It's going to be a little more informative and a little more straight to the point. So let's jump in with the first subject, which I would say is our least exciting, or our least...
We're going in order of like exciting announcements. The first one is housekeeping, and then moving on up to like more exciting stuff. So like if you want to know the really cool stuff,
stick around.
Hold on for like 10 minutes.
Stick around. So the first thing we're going to talk about is an update on the Dawn film donor incentives.
Indeed. It's
We did, yes. We ran a GoFundMe campaign. If you don't know, if you're new here, we ran a GoFundMe campaign about a year and a half ago for Dawn, which was our second Life is Strange film. And during the run of that crowdfunding campaign, we offered incentives for different donation levels depending on how much you gave. Now, we promised that all of those physical items were going to be mailed off just a couple months after the fundraiser completed.
Indeed. And then we ran out of money. Because we found out, basically what I would say about this is we're very new to a lot of this. We've been making movies for a while, but the business side of this was new to us. And
Carrsan has been making movies for a long time.
We as a company, we were not aware of how much it would cost. We've already spent hundreds of dollars shipping out the incentives that we have, but we have good news on this front for those of you that are still waiting.
We do. Hold on.
Okay.
I want to give all the details.
Okay, got it.
So, we raised $5,000, and thanks to you guys, we hit that goal. We exceeded it just a little bit. It was fantastic. It got us through production. It bought us some nice new equipment. It got us locations. It got us everything that we needed. It was wonderful, and it helped us to make the production value so much higher on Dawn. We're really, really proud of that. But we thought we had factored in enough money that we would be able to use a portion of that to go towards both post-production and mailing
Indeed.
the incentives. It didn't work that way. All of the money went to the film because we just...
And then some.
And then some, because we just underestimated how much it would really take. So we offered a lot of physical items that had to be created, made, and then shipped. And a lot of those are being shipped overseas. If you've never mailed anything internationally, you don't understand both the price tag and the amount of work that it takes to ship something to another country. And we had never done it before and underestimated that.
Which was,
So all of that combined just made it a lot more difficult for us than we thought it would be. Now, we made it a top priority to get out, and I'm going to admit this, I'm going to be honest with you guys, we made it a priority to send the higher level incentives first, because more money was given on them, and some of them were time sensitive. A calendar was one of the incentives, and I made sure to get that out in December of last year so that all of those people would be able to use their calendars throughout 2019.
And a lot of those were also much more expensive for us to ship because a lot of them were boxes, and a lot, for whatever reason, a lot of our bigger donors were overseas.
Yes.
So it was a lot of...
Which we're very grateful for.
Which we are extremely grateful for. And none of this is in any way trying to put any of this on you guys.
No.
But it was just truly a matter of we vastly underestimated the amount of time and money it would take to make this happen.
Yes. So all of that being said, here we are, yes, a year later, and most of you who donated at the $25 level have not received anything from us. And we feel horrible about that. It's something we think about every single day, truly. All the messages that we receive, I tell people that, and it's genuine. Truly, every single day, I think,
we talk about it constantly. How are we going to raise this money?
Incentives.
Because we have, I would probably guess, at least $350 worth of things like for us to spend to ship it all out.
Yeah, we're looking at about $200 to $300 still of items that need to be shipped. Again, not like value of the item. The items are ready, but the shipping costs money.
Indeed.
And it's $200 to $300.
Should we get to the good part of this, or?
Well, hold on. So yes, so now you're fully updated on what that situation is. A lot of people don't read our Facebook page, so just aren't aware of that.
And everyone has been very nice and patient with us.
Absolutely. And
no
the
one is
people
being
who have
mean
messaged
or rude
us, genuinely, we appreciate those messages, because truly it just shows us that you still care. Because that's our biggest fear, that people just don't care anymore because of this. We're thankful that you do. So, here's the thing. Because of the release of ingrID, our new film that we just premiered in August locally, at that local premiere we charged admission, and the money that we made on that can now all go towards mailing out the rest of those incentives, and we have more than enough to cover it. So we are very excited to be able to now tell people, yes, we have the finances available to us, and we're ready to mail out the rest of those incentives.
In the immediate future.
In the immediate future. Maybe not like tomorrow,
because
but
we have
maybe
things
next
to pack.
week.
They're literally sitting on a shelf behind me right now.
Yeah.
So within the next week or so, they will be shipped, and there will be messages sent out. And
of course, it's been a year, so we kind of need to regroup everything.
Right.
And package it and mail it. That's another thing too. We're trying to find the most efficient way to mail posters to people that aren't posters but are posters, and they can't be folded.
Yeah.
And they don't roll and fit. So
There's also a surprising
There's a lot
amount of
that goes into
legwork
it.
that goes into shipping internationally, as far as figuring out like zip codes and regions and things like that.
And that's been a fear of mine too. Even some of the things that we have already sent and sent months ago, I'm scared that they never reached their destination anyway, and then we've spent all this money and nobody's gotten anything.
But we're shipping them all regardless.
But we're doing it regardless because it's all we can do. But that is a fear of mine. So if you receive a package, please let us know.
Yes.
Find a way to contact us, because I haven't been told by anyone that we've shipped anything to that they've received it. Please tell us, because we have no way of knowing. You can't get a tracking number on an international package.
Indeed.
So I have we don't know.
Indeed.
They could have all been thrown away for all we know, which is unfortunate but true. So in the future going forward, we are not anymore offering physical incentives
ever again
for any of our fundraisers. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't create product that you can purchase, but it will go through a third-party vendor.
Yes.
So we won't be handling the shipping and packaging and mailing and all that.
It's too much. It's way too much.
We can't handle that.
For 2 people.
Too much. Can't handle that. So we're not doing that ever again, but you, the Dawn donors, will be receiving everything you've been promised.
Yes.
Thank you for your patience.
And also we're sorry.
So much. We're very sorry. Thank you so much. So that's our update on the Dawn donor incentives. Yay. It is happy. It sounds horrible.
I was going to say, we sound like terrible people.
This is genuinely a good thing. So the next announcement. Obviously, if you guys have been following us on our other social media, we don't post a ton on YouTube because that's not our primary platform. We post way more often on Facebook and Instagram, which I will put links to in the description. Please follow us there if you want to keep up to date on what we're currently doing. But if you haven't noticed on the channel, we're not doing Life is Strange anymore.
No.
We're never going to do Life is Strange anymore.
We're done with that.
We've been done with that.
Indeed.
We're working on original content. And that original content is the Woland Saga.
Yes.
And the Woland Saga, yes. You want to jump in, jump in.
The Woland Saga is a multi-part epic story being told in both short films and feature-length films, detailing a kind of supernatural horror story set in the Midwestern United States of America. So it's one part reflection on modern times and like the time that we're living in and things that we see in our environment, and one part fairy tale. We really wanted it to feel like an ongoing, almost like an urban legend. So there's a lot that we're pulling from and a lot of characters that we're incorporating in this that are almost intentionally meant to be recognizable, like archetypes. And it's something that we're really, really passionate about.
Thank you so much, Sam
Thank
Morris.
you, Sam.
I appreciate
we love you.
hearing that. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, the Woland Saga is an epic story that I started conceptualizing years ago. Like even before like What If and Dawn, a long time ago, the seeds were sown. The two of us have been working on it together for the better part of 2 years. And I can't take even any of the majority of credit for any of it, because truly, we came up with most of what became the Woland Saga together.
Yes.
But it started as basically taking a bunch of my stories that I came up with in like high school and piecing them together into one epic story. So ingrID, the movie that we already made and released locally, came out and received very, very positive reception locally. We had about 50 people at our local premiere, and it was a blast. And it was also the first movie that we ever charged like real admission for, and people really enjoyed it, and we dressed up, and it was fun. And so it was a really, really great time. And it's just kind of the start of it all. So it's fun to have that out there, at least in a local level, and be now moving onward. I guess I'll let you continue now with the more organizational things, but that's Woland.
No, yeah. So that's Woland, if you don't know. Our plans for Woland we're going to come to a little bit later.
Yes.
because that's like going into the future. But currently, again, if you follow us on our other social media, you might have noticed that a couple weeks ago we made a big dramatic post about a possible opportunity to work with a Los Angeles-based sales representative company. Mm-hmm. Are we comfortable saying their name?
Not yet. Because we might work with them in the future.
That's fair.
Yeah. We still have contact with them, that's the thing. And I don't want to say anything yet.
So what you might be hearing right now is true. We are not going through with that deal right now.
Yet.
At this time.
Yeah.
It is something that we are still very excited about the possibility of. It's a contact that we are still very grateful to have made. It's still an offer that we intend to take someday in the future when we're better prepared.
Indeed.
But right now, we don't feel that we're in the exact right place to accept that offer. Yes. So
basically what it came down to is this, because I don't want anyone to feel disheartened by this or feel like anything fell through or anything bad happened. No. We made that post and we got a lot of support, and we also got a lot of people that love us very much reaching out to us, and
we got concerned.
And we had to basically think about the fact of, okay, if we're going to raise $3,000 to do something, the offer that we got from this company is amazing, but it's a maybe. It's something that could have turned out to be great, and it's something that could have turned out to be nothing. And
really fast, I want to explain what a sales representative is.
Okay.
No. Finish. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But like, so what we had to make the decision on is, if we're going to do another fundraiser, should we do that and then sit on it and wait for months and then possibly be left with nothing and be $3,000 more in the hole to you guys? Mm-hmm. Or do we want to work on something bigger and better? Mm-hmm. And then come back to this amazing offer that we have when we're in a better position to support it ourselves at less risk to our fans and friends? Mm-hmm. Basically, at least for me personally, I didn't want to put something that might be a risk on you guys. Not to that level anyway.
I agree with that.
And I want the money that you guys give us to be going toward the things that you want to see. Mm-hmm. And not necessarily toward business ventures that may or may not work out, despite the fact that they're exciting. Yes. And we've had contact with this company. They're very, very positive. They like us.
Right.
So it's not like this is gone.
Right.
It's just something that we're not pursuing at this time.
Right.
For ingrID specifically. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
but I just wanted to say that for anybody that's like, oh no, I was like, it's fine. This is something that we decided that we're feeling very good about. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, we wouldn't be making this decision if we weren't confident on it.
Indeed.
Which is exactly why we're making the decision that we are now, because we weren't confident on our first gut reaction of, we have to go for this. Mm-hmm. So to clarify what a sales representative is, because I think a lot of people get it confused with the actual distribution channels. They're not the same thing.
No.
So a sales representative is basically an agent for a film. They promote the film to distribution companies and to any film festivals that we would enter into, and they basically just talk us up. They're a rep. They're a sales rep.
Yeah.
They talk up the film and they try to get us those deals and get us into places that we maybe wouldn't have access to on our own. That's what they would offer to us. So of course we would have to pay them for those services because they have a business like everyone else. Mm-hmm. But again, because they are basically just an agent or a promoter, it doesn't guarantee distribution. And even if distribution came, it doesn't guarantee that it would go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's the reality of this industry.
We could have ended up getting an offer from a distributor that would have wanted to buy the film and then sit on it and do nothing with it.
Yep.
Or from somebody that only wanted to distribute it in a very limited run, and then none of you guys would ever have the option of seeing it. Mm-hmm. And we didn't want that, because we want our films to be as accessible as possible while still being able to profit off of them so we can make more films. Mm-hmm. So it's just something that we didn't feel like we could jump into yet, because we don't have the resources to make sure that it becomes something that would be positive. Not only for us, but for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know it seems weird that, we made this big, huge post about it and now we're going back on it. But that's the nature of the business. Mm-hmm. We were excited about it. We remain excited about it. Mm-hmm. But after a lot of careful consideration, it's like, it's not time yet.
It's just not the right time. It's not the right time to make that commitment. Mm-hmm.
Especially not when we have so much more to make, frankly.
Mm-hmm. And we're young, and we're just starting off, and we're, I'm still in school, and we just have a lot to accomplish before we get to that point, and we're okay with that, genuinely. So, that then begs the question of, when is ingrID going to be released? How is ingrID going to be released? Where is ingrID going to be released? Because we've made it clear that we're not putting any of our feature-length films on YouTube anymore because we want to make money, because that's the idea.
We want to be able to potentially do this for a living someday.
Doing this. We want to keep making movies, so we have to fund them and fund ourselves. So, that's the plan. How are we going to do that? Well, we are looking at Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
That is our primary number one goal. We want to get the film on Amazon Instant or Amazon Prime.
Which we can do ourselves for relatively low cost. We wouldn't have to raise any money for it.
Nope.
It's guaranteed distribution, so it will happen. And it'll be much wider available to everyone for a very low cost. Like, we're not talking, it's not going to be $25 to watch ingrID.
No, it'll be $2-3 a watch.
Yeah. So it will be very available, very affordable, and we'll be able to get a little bit of cut from it to go toward other projects.
Absolutely.
So it's a much safer, better option for us at this time than going with something that's very expensive with like a 50-50 chance of working out.
Now, unfortunately, we can't speak to any of the details of what that would offer for you guys because we haven't done it yet and we don't know exactly. Like, I don't know if it will be available internationally at first. I don't know. There are a lot of details that we just don't know until we get into the process.
And we will find ways to fill in those gaps if that is the case. So, of course, if we find out it's not going to be available internationally, we'll find a way to make it available internationally. It's not like you guys might not get to see it.
No.
We will make it available to everyone.
Yes.
It's just going to take some time.
Right.
Probably 3 to 4 months.
It's still going to be a few months.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, even nationally.
Indeed.
It just takes time to do these things.
Should we?
Yes. So, that's the plan for ingrID.
In the meantime, we have one short that has already been filmed that will be going up on YouTube in the next couple of months and will also be available in other ways that we'll talk about later, much sooner. We also have another short that we're going to make in December, and our shorts will all eventually go on YouTube. So there will still be content on this channel, Woland content for people to see.
Yep.
In between the feature-length films getting released. But the reality is, something that we've learned is that there's a reason it takes so long for a movie to get released, even after it's made. There's just so many hoops to jump through.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Amazon thing has a required processing time of like 40 to 60 days.
Yeah.
And that's just something we can't do anything about. So it's the reality is we're impatient to get it out there too, but it's just something that we can't rush because there's no way to rush it.
Yeah.
And we can't keep putting movies on YouTube because if we do that, then it's like, okay, this isn't sustainable.
Right.
So.
And for those of you who are curious about like, okay, well, why don't you just monetize your videos on YouTube? I think you have to have at least 30,000 subscribers and like a certain number of views.
Yeah,
it's like
we've looked into that, and
YouTube monetization is too much.
Plus, there are content restrictions.
Loopholes, too many. Yeah, we would get flagged.
We would
probably get
we
taken
wouldn't be
down.
allowed to make the movies that we want to make. It's not an option for us.
Not an option. Really, just not an option.
Yeah.
So, yes. So all of our shorts will always be available here. We'll also post all of our trailers here. We'll do little live streams like this, give you guys updates.
I want to do more of these.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be back more often, I think.
Yeah, we might do more. I do have green hair. Thank you. Yes, that's a change. It's been a while. What else? There's behind the scenes videos we're hoping to do more of. And any little shorts that we feel like
that's
making
the thing too,
that
is
aren't
like
related to Woland.
Been writing little fun shorts recently that I want to make. So like I would say in the next couple of months you're going to start to see more things come on this channel.
And genuinely, Patreon is still something we're very interested in. Patreon is still a really good option for us. It's just something that we haven't really had the time to set up.
Yeah.
But we would still really love to do a Patreon at some point, and then we can offer you guys so much more extra content that you can stay engaged with us.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Not that Patreon is hard to do or set up.
But again, there's just things that you have to do for it that we just haven't had time to figure out yet. So, yeah. So there are multiple.
I'm in college, and we don't live together. So once that happens, once our lives progress,
the thing of it is that, like, it's not even just that specifically. It's just like I think, and we're flattered by the amount of people that think that we're these intrepid, constantly working filmmakers. But like, I work 2 jobs, and we
I'm
have
in school and I work.
Yeah, and we are very, very busy outside of all of this.
Yeah.
So while we're trying to buckle down and make this even more of a reality, it takes time.
Yeah.
And we appreciate your guys' continual support and patience in that time. Because it's hard. We love it more than anything, for me personally, but it's hard. And we're getting to a point now where it can't just keep being something that we put films on YouTube and move on. If I want this to be a career, it's got to be, we have to treat it like one.
So it's all going to come in stages, is what we're trying to say.
Promise ingrID will be worth the wait. It's really good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty proud of it.
So yes, so the timeline of our films coming up in the future, we have a short film that is in post-production. That'll be out in the next couple months. We have another short film that is in pre-production that we're hoping to film in the next couple months. And then you can expect that in early 2020. Our next feature-length film is the last thing we have to talk about. The last thing that we have to talk about with you guys.
It's very exciting.
So, ingrID was the Woland Saga Chapter 1. And our next feature-length film, which we plan to shoot in the summer of 2020, is the Woland Saga Chapter 2.
Hellfire. It's called Hellfire. It's going to be amazing.
That's the second film. Out of all of the films that we have planned in this series, it's the one I'm the most excited about.
It's the one that starts the story.
Yes.
It introduces, it's a huge ensemble. Like, for those that liked What If and Dawn, because of, like, the large number of characters and the world, this is the one to be excited about. Like, it's a huge cast. There are familiar faces. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
Like, I have never been so excited to make something in my whole life. It's just chaos. It's so fun.
We will have a casting announcement coming up in the next few weeks.
I'll show the picture.
Sure.
We have a picture.
We have a promotional image that we're going to share with you quickly.
I'm literally going to hold it up on my phone. That's going to be how we're going to do this.
And so in terms of fundraising, that's the next thing that you guys can look out for. We are going to do a fundraiser for Hellfire. Our goal is $3,000. We had $5,000 for Dawn, and we think $3,000 is a perfectly reasonable amount to ask for this.
It's also what we were thinking of raising for the other thing, the studio thing that we decided
for the
to pass
sales
on.
rep.
So.
Yep. So we are hoping to raise $3,000 for this one. That $3,000 will get us all the essentials to make a film. you know, all the costumes, locations, food, gas, all that good stuff.
Right.
Here, yes, Hellfire.
Does that look okay, everybody? Is that halfway decent?
Sure.
Hellfire. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited about that image. Yeah, it's huge ensemble cast.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes. Not yet. Nope, not yet. So we will be slowly giving updates throughout the next few weeks and the upcoming months, and we will be releasing things piece by piece. Whether that's, you know, more of the timeline for the Woland Saga, the casting announcement for Hellfire, the fundraiser for Hellfire, that's all going to be coming up in the next few months. So,
unfortunately, Connor, the song Hellfire will not be appearing in the movie Hellfire. Can I at least tell them where the name comes from?
Tell them where the name comes from.
Okay, so the name actually comes from things called Hellfire Clubs. Everyone, when we're done here, or just open up another tab while I ramble, Google what a Hellfire Club is or was, and that will tell you a little something something. It's an ensemble cast, and the name is based on the idea of Hellfire Clubs. So Google Hellfire Club.
What time period did they exist in?
They existed in like the 17 or 1800s, I think. The movie is set in modern times, but the name is based on the idea of Hellfire Clubs. The concept of
what those clubs were directly relates to the film.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hellfire
Club is the next film that we are going to be starting pre-production on. We don't have a script yet. We're working on it.
We have bits and pieces of a script.
Bits and pieces of a script. I mean, we are in like early pre-production for this one. But we have our cast. The film is cast. And we're...
It's an over-the-moon cast.
Stupid excited about this.
Can I say one thing about the cast without naming names?
Sure.
Like just like.
Yeah.
If you've seen any of my recent films, even like within the last like 4 years, you'll be excited about the casting of this movie. It's like a family reunion. It's
like a family reunion.
It's like a family reunion.
It's also bringing together a lot of people that we've wanted to work with.
I just realized that's an Easter egg.
It's also bringing together a lot of people that we've wanted to work with for a really long time, that for one reason or another it's just never quite worked out, and we got them for this project. So...
Oh, God. It's gonna be so good, guys.
So, we're a little over the moon.
We should have opened with this.
No, this is the way it should go. This is the way it should go.
Oh.
So we're very, very, very excited to get started on Hellfire. Very excited. But again, filming for that is going to be summer of 2020. So it's a ways off, but we have plenty to give you until then.
And there will be so many cool we already did a photo session that you guys haven't seen yet with 2 different characters that are super exciting.
Yes.
Oh my God.
2
guys.
characters, the primary antagonist and protagonist for the whole series will be introduced to you in the short film.
We've said their names.
That's coming out soon.
Past.
Have we?
Yeah. We've said at least the one, the big bad one.
Oh, because we announced the casting for them.
Yeah.
Adrian Pierce and Woland.
Played by Finch Moore, who you know.
Yep. And Henry Etzel.
I guess just say Finch was the teacher in What If, and Mikey in Dawn, and also for fans of Play Dead, Finch starred in that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Finch is an alum who is very, very talented, and Henry Etzel, none of you have met before, but by God, he plays Woland, who is the scariest character I've ever come up with.
Very excited.
He plays Woland, who's the scariest character I've ever come up with. And he's terrifying.
Very, very excited. So, we're not going to say who the cast is yet. We will have an official announcement when the casting goes out. So again, you have to follow us on social media because it won't be announced here. It's going to be announced on Facebook and Instagram. So you have to follow our social media if you want to stay super up to date.
Our Instagram page is dope, for the record. Shelby most of the posts on the Instagram page are made by Shelby. I am the chaotic creative one who just does the writing and basically does whatever she tells me to do.
Yes, I run the social media.
So please follow our Instagram page. She works
9 times out of 10, if you get a response on either a Facebook or an Instagram message, it's from me because I run the social media account.
Yeah, so please follow it.
Please follow them.
She keeps me alive.
I haven't posted on Instagram in a couple weeks now. The last post that we made was that big announcement. But again, it's because we've been kind of revitalizing and working through things and getting prepared for the next step in the journey. So consider this us going back full swing. So at this point, 35 minutes in, if you guys have
questions, comments, concerns,
any major questions that we can answer right now, we're happy to do that. We're only going to stay on for another like 5 or 10 minutes because we're hungry and the food upstairs smells really good. So,
but if you have burning questions for us about Hellfire, go ahead and ask them.
I should have been writing down timestamps as we went along because now I'm going to have to go back and do it, and I don't want to do that. But I'm going to because I promised I would. Questions. Do you have questions? If you don't, that's totally fine. We'll also you have burning food. Someone else is making the food, thankfully, so we're not worried about that. But, okay, were we able to upgrade any of our equipment for ingrID/Hellfire? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, shortly after Dawn was wrapped, Carrsan's 12-year-old camera died. Went to camera heaven. So that piece of ancient history, we have to keep that and do something with it. That piece of ancient history is no longer a part of our team. So we used my really nice DSLR to shoot ingrID. So it looks pretty good, I'm going to be honest.
Indeed.
It's not a cinema camera. It's not film industry standard.
Nice.
But it's a really nice DSLR. So it's certainly an improvement over where we've been. As for sound, that's our next step.
Yeah.
For Hellfire, we want to upgrade our sound equipment and get someone who knows sound.
That'd be swell.
Because sound, we feel at this point, is still our biggest setback. We just want to have better sound quality.
Because it's certainly not terrible in all of the films, but it's just we're tired of the background noise. We're tired of a lot of things with the sound that I'm just picky about and it's bothering me.
But it's important. It's important to upgrade those things as we go along. Are you planning to make any other fan-made films of video games?
No. Never again.
Big no.
Unless I can get the rights to Life is Strange as a series.
And $1 million.
And $1 million to make it bigger and better.
No.
Woland is so much more the type of thing that I.
And after Woland, we're gonna have our own original stuff to keep making.
Yeah.
So nope. That was a one-off, my friends. But thank you for...
It was an amazing,
incredible
wonderful,
one-off
beautiful one-off that
brought all of you to
so
us
much.
And brought us together.
But it's... You have... I don't know if this is, like, going too much into it, but it's like, you gotta understand the personal toll that making fan art that people actually watch takes out of you. It's so much more fulfilling to make our own stuff. I'm also now telling the stories and writing the scripts that I want to write.
I mean, we are first and foremost storytellers, and film is just the medium that we're using for that. I'm a photographer, so that's a medium that I use. We're both writers. That's a medium that we use. We're storytellers. So this is just the format that we're using to tell those stories. So doing our own original content is our top priority.
Indeed.
Which is why we're doing it.
Thoughts on filming with an iPhone?
Thoughts on filming with iPhone?
It's possible. People have done it and it's looked good. Like, for us personally, it'd probably have to be for some little experimental project, but if you want to do it, do it.
I have simultaneous... Okay. I'm going to go on a rant.
Okay. Go off.
So, here it is. From a filmmaking standpoint, I encourage it. I say, yes, 100% do it, chase your dream, use what you have. Everybody starts somewhere, and an iPhone is a camera that everyone has. With a fairly good camera, fairly good equipment, fairly good editing apps, do it. Go for it. If you try to call yourself a photographer and you're using an iPhone, don't. Next question. I have Amazon Prime.
That was just a whole statement to just in our live stream.
Because I could go for an hour and I'm not going to. I have Amazon Prime, and there are a lot of odd movies on there. Correct. Because
there are great movies
frankly, anyone can upload a video there, and if it's
a beautiful platform that we weren't really fully aware of.
If it's like even remotely a movie, then people can watch it, and that's great. What are your ultimate goals as filmmakers?
I want to... My ultimate goal is not to be big and famous and successful.
Mm-hmm.
My ultimate goal is for, like, a small number of nerdy little film kids 70 years from now to buy my movies from some dollar cult bin at a local video store or online, because print will by far be dead by then. And just be like, wow, that Carrsan Morrissey made cool, weird movies, and that's all I really want.
I think we want to be the guy that made the Puppet Master movies.
I
think we want to be that guy.
I mean, kind of like, I want a niche. But
I'm talking like in terms of his success. Like, right. He made these weird 9...
very strange movies.
Super strange.
And is very successful.
Ridiculously low-budget cult classic films called the Puppet Master series. And I think we want the Wilhelm Saga to be that.
Careful. We tonally completely different. But like,
I've never watched the movies.
Neither have
I. Like, in terms of
but
that,
they're like weird, like
Nazi
puppets and stuff like that. But like, a lot of my idols are people like Lars von Trier and Gaspar Noé.
But in terms of, like, what is our success for us?
Yeah.
What is our goal? That.
Notoriety.
Cult classic.
Yeah.
Recognition all over the place, but not mainstream.
I don't need people to think that we're great.
No.
I just want people to think that we're interesting.
We don't need to be...
Yeah.
We just want to do what we're doing and do it well.
Yeah. Like I said, my idols currently are people like Lars von Trier, Gaspar Noé, or no, I think it's Noé. Just weird filmmakers that do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I'm trying to be. Not like I'm as good as them, but like to that level.
Let's pick up the pace a little bit and do some rapid fire stuff so we can eat from
start to finish. How long does it take to make a film? About 8 to 12 months for us.
From start to finish, how long does it take to write and creatively process a film? I'd say a year.
A year.
From start to
about
finish.
A year.
From writing the script to releasing it, about a year.
Horror film about teenage exploitation.
Oh, we are currently writing a horror movie about teenage exploitation. Yeah. How does that sound? Interesting.
I'd read it or watch it.
Keep us updated.
Yeah, let us know.
How long did it take to film ingrID?
About a week.
A week.
8 days, specifically. We spent 8 days filming it.
8 days.
Yeah. 8 long days.
But only 8 days.
But only 8.
Biggest setback you've had so far on ingrID?
On ingrID?
Yeah, at any point in the process.
I would say... I mean, there's a general thing of just wanting it to be higher quality production than we could possibly make it because of the equipment that we have. But as far as big setbacks, we had a lot of last-minute location changes that we had to do. That being said, I don't think they affected the quality of the finished film. But those who read the original script and those that saw the finished product would be like, where did that go? Where did that go? Where did that go? Where did that go? Because we had to change a lot.
I would just say that the final film is extremely different from the script.
But not in a bad way.
I
would argue it communicates exactly the same things.
Yeah.
But we had to be very creative.
Not in a bad way. I would like to just jump in and clarify something. There's some confusion in the comments of what's happening with ingrID. You might have missed it earlier. We're not putting ingrID on YouTube, but we are working on wide release, online distribution.
Yeah.
So to say that we're just doing it locally, that's not true. Right now, yes.
We've only done it locally.
We've only released it locally for now.
The goal is
planning to wide distribute.
Amazon
online.
Instant or Amazon Prime is the goal, because anybody can upload to those programs.
What is your favorite type of movie to make?
Horror. But not like jump scare, stab, die horror. Like
psychological.
Think about it late at night.
I like to call it cerebral horror.
Ooh, good name. Cerebral horror.
Cerebral
horror. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
She's right.
All right. Are you planning on making any physical copies of your movies in the near future? That is an excellent question. Again, that's going to come down to what kind of distribution we can get in the future.
Making physical copies and selling them ourselves, that's impractical. But not like a bad idea, but like for us, we can't do it.
We love that.
It'd be like pressing records. Like, we just can't.
That would be us getting distribution in the future, and that's an in the future thing.
How many? I like Connor's question.
Connor.
How many short films should a new director try to make before they attempt to make a feature film? I made about 12 short films before I made a feature film. But my first feature film was not good. I love it very dearly if anybody who was in it watches this, but it was a rambling 3-hour-long movie. So I think you should make whatever you want to make and go with it. Run with it. If you want to make long movies, make long movies. If you want to make short movies, make short movies. Just make something. It's not about what you make. It's about actually doing it. That being said, make at least 4. Make 4 short films before you try to make something long. Make the equivalent of 1 feature-length movie before you make something long. If you want an academic answer.
Cool. Hardest part of being a filmmaker? Getting support.
Constant
finding support.
Crushing denial that you're actually good at what you do.
Constant crushing imposter syndrome.
Yes. For me, constant crippling imposter syndrome.
Getting support. Finding support. And I don't mean from like loved ones and friends and family. I mean like
the world.
Getting acknowledged and financially being able to make our movies and getting support.
Yeah, like these fundraisers, like I cannot stress enough to you that at this point that we're at, if we don't raise the money to make these movies, we'll still make them.
But they won't be good.
But they won't be good. These fundraisers are our bread and butter. We can't make these movies without raising the money to do it, and it is so hard to communicate that to people.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do these 2 last questions before we jump off. How did you find having to change the script for ingrID, let me rephrase that. Did you find having to change the script for ingrID terrifying or just annoying as filmmakers?
Not really either, because the thing about it is with the process, the reason I sometimes have trouble with, what was the biggest setback is that when you're in it, when you're working on something, like there are certainly moments that I've had setbacks. Dawn losing footage. Things just come up, things just happen, and you have to roll with them. It's not really until after the fact that you look back and think, wow, that was hard and shitty. It's just part of it. So it was half annoying and scary and half exhilarating. Mm-hmm. And frankly, if it hadn't happened, we probably wouldn't have ended up using the house that we did, and it ended up being like a character in the movie. So
that's very true.
I don't regret it.
I love the way it ended up.
Oh my god. I'm so like that's the thing is like I don't like ingrID is great. ingrID is everything that I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different than how we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you find your actors? That is primarily me. At this point, we kind of have our own pool of people that we go to that are kind of our regulars. But to branch out from that, there is a huge pool of theatrical actors in this area. And I've been in that community.
We're still picking away at the talent that we're trying to get access to. Like,
I've been a part of that community for going on a decade now. So I just have connections to an incredible amount of ridiculously talented people to act in our films.
I'd like to answer that last positive good question.
All right,
let's end on a good note.
Question.
So somebody asked, at what moment did it finally sink in that, oh shit, I'm a filmmaker and people genuinely love my stuff? What If and Dawn. What If, specifically. For as much vitriol as we sometimes got for those movies, the fact that so many people were just so affected and touched by What If.
All over the world.
All over the world.
The community that we built from that movie. I mean, the fact that we, Carrsan and Shelby, sitting where we are, get to say that we built a community.
Well, yeah, like, that community came to us. I don't even feel like we built it, but they surrounded this little labor of love that we made.
But yeah.
And it's still... But it's also, like, I don't want to talk about that, like, well, I peaked with What If, and now it's all... Like, it's because it's not like that.
No.
What If was the first time that I thought, I can do this, and people are going to like it. Like, I'm not just making these for me. And it changed the way that I make movies. Yeah, it made me think about you guys now. Mm-hmm. With every script that I write, with every decision that we make, what you guys are going to think of it factors in.
It's important.
You know, even if it's just the couple hundred stragglers from the hundreds of thousands of people that watched What If, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, going even farther back than that, I mean, just the first live showing I ever did. You know, the first time people stand up and clap for something that you made in your house with a shitty little camera, and your friends dressed in costumes you bought on Amazon for $50. It's magic.
Yeah.
And yes, Sam, you wouldn't even know who we were without What If.
I would assume that
a lot of you wouldn't. We wouldn't be sitting here.
We wouldn't be sitting here. So, that is it.
That's it.
That's what we got.
We'll end on that good note.
Thank you so much to everyone who joined us through this live stream. Of course, we are going to upload it now, and you'll be able to watch it back whenever you'd like if you didn't get the chance to see all of it. I will put links to our Facebook and Instagram below. Follow us.
Instagram especially.
Follow us. And I will also timestamp all of our big important topics throughout this video. So, thank you guys so much.
Hellfire coming soon to something near you. Short films coming soon.
Got more before that.
Short films coming soon to YouTube.
Yes.
Over the next 6 months or so, some really, really, really cool stuff is going to come
We have good stuff planned, so just stick with us.
Thanks, Connor.
Thank you guys so much.
We love you guys.
Have a great night, and we're going to sign off. Are we done? Are we ready? We're going to sign off.
We're still on. Oh, God.
Flip your device back.
Oh, no.
Now we're just old people that don't know how phones work.
How does this thing work? Shelby was still on the screen. You gotta press the, you gotta press that.